Hi, it's Sam from Today's Nest, and today we're talking about the oldest city in France, Marseille. From bustling markets to historic neighborhoods, Marseille offers a kaleidoscope of experiences. So let's dive in and discover more about this Mediterranean gem. Our adventure begins at the heart of Marseille, the Vieux-Port. This iconic harbor has been the lifeblood of the city for centuries. Here you can take a leisurely stroll along the harbor, soak in the maritime atmosphere, and grab some of the freshest seafood at one of the local bistros. From the Vieux-Port, you are just a short walk away from Museum and the Cathédrale de la Major. The Museum, Museum of European and Mediterranean Civilizations, has striking modern architecture and is a sight to behold. As you cross the footbridge to Fort Saint-Jean, you'll step back in time to explore the rich history of Marseille and its maritime heritage. The Cathédrale Sainte-Marie-Majeure is just a few steps away on foot from the Museum, and it's definitely worth a visit. This spectacular cathedral is actually made of two churches, one old and one new, which have been sort of fused together. The old one was built in the 4th century, and it's the oldest church in Marseille. The new one was the only church built in France in the 19th century. Speaking of cathedrals, be sure to see the Basilique Notre-Dame de la Garde. This is perhaps the most famous church in Marseille, and can be seen high on the hill with its golden statue of the Virgin Mary who watches over the city. The views from the church are incredible. Also, the trip to the top of the hill is a bit twisty and narrow, but the views are stunning and well worth it. Unless you're driving. Keep your eyes on the road. Seriously. Alright, now let's explore one of Marseille's oldest neighborhoods, Le Panier. Known for its narrow, winding streets adorned with vibrant street art, this bohemian quarter is a haven for artists and creatives. Don't forget to pop into some of the charming boutiques and cafes that line the cobblestone streets. And, if you're a nature enthusiast, a trip to the Calanque National Park is an absolute must. Just a short drive from the city, this pristine natural reserve boasts dramatic limestone cliffs, hidden coves, and azure waters. Whether you're hiking, swimming, or simply basking in the Mediterranean sun, the Calanque provide an unforgettable escape. You will also find many nearby places where you can catch a boat tour in and out of the finger-like coves of the Calanque. It's not very expensive and definitely worth the cost. For a short getaway, consider heading to nearby Cassis to take one of the many boat tours. And as a bonus, you'll get to take in this charming little seaside town. If you just want to hang out by the sea, there are several public beaches in Marseille that are easily accessible. Perhaps the most recognizable is Plage du Prado. This beach is quite busy during the summer months, but you can get there with ease using the metro or tram system. Okay. Before you go to Marseille, you'll need a little more information, and for that we present our 9 to know before you go. The public transport system in Marseille is adequate and inexpensive. If your visit is mainly focused on the city of Marseille, you will not likely need a car. Number 2, while the city of Marseille is one of the busiest in France, it does not enjoy the same popularity as many smaller cities. It appears to be a little less polished. Many find certain parts of town a little run down. Personally, I love it. And you have to remember that this town was founded in 600 BC, so yeah, it's not New York, but that's part of the charm, right? Number 3, as a major transportation hub in France, getting to Marseille is easy and puts you in a great central location to explore many other parts of the south of France, using regional trains and driving along a spectacular coastline highway. If you rent a car, it's also a great central location for short day trips to nearby towns like Aix-en-Provence, Avignon, or Aise. Number 4, if you're planning on renting a car, be sure to brush up on your French driving rules and signs. Some things will be obvious, others definitely are not. And be sure to pay at paid parking lots. They will find you and fine you if you don't. Number 5, be aware of any restaurant that can whip up a bowl of bouillabaisse. This soup is a labor of love and also the subject of many a food scam in the south of France. The best ones will be cooked for hours. Many tourist spots will use pre-made soup bases, heat it up and toss in a bit of seafood. It's not terrible, it's just not bouillabaisse. The real one is quite a bit more expensive and worth it. Number 6, despite the reputation that Marseille has gained, it's a relatively safe place. Of course, there are scam artists and pickpockets like there are in any major city or travel destination. Just be aware of your surroundings and anybody who approaches you. Also, there are definitely areas defined as no-go zones. In Marseille, these are primarily in the northernmost arrondissement, where there isn't much that would interest tourists anyway. Just check out the areas before you go, especially at night, and notably the 13th through the 16th arrondissement. Number 7, you do not need to speak French to go to Marseille. You can certainly get by in most restaurants, hotels, museums, and shops. These people want to make money, and generally there's somebody in all of these places who speaks enough English to get by. However, I assure you that you will enjoy your trip more and you will be treated differently if you learn at least a few pleasantries like bonjour, merci, de rien, au revoir, bonne journée, je vous en prie, etc. Number 8, tipping is not expected. Man, don't get me wrong, they'll take your money if you want to leave one, but they will not be the least bit offended if you don't. Equally, do not expect them to ask you if you're ready to pay. That's not how it works here. When you're ready to pay, you must ask for the check, l'addition. Number 9, avoid restaurants that offer a menu touristique or have a chalkboard outside with 100 choices. Even if it says it's fait maison or homemade, it's BS. They are almost certainly homemaking your meal in the microwave. Listen, the food scene in Marseille is exploding. There are many top-rated restaurants popping up as chefs pour into the city from other parts of France, and indeed the world. Search for good restaurants before you go and make reservations at least a few days, if not weeks, before your trip begins. Okay, now let's talk about one of the most exciting aspects of any journey, the food. Marseille's culinary scene is a mix of French, Mediterranean, Italian, and North African foods. Dive into a bowl of bouillabaisse, the city's signature fish stew, or indulge in a savory bite of panis, a chickpea flour fritter that's a local favorite. And for your sweet tooth, try navettes. They are a little cookie that symbolize a boat and generally are flavored with orange blossom water, but the flavor profile has evolved over time to include other flavors. And of course, no visit to Marseille is complete without savoring the iconic pastis, a refreshing anise-flavored aperitif that can really be enjoyed throughout the day, especially in the summer months. Beyond these iconic foods from Marseille, you'll find restaurants serving up dishes from every corner of the gastronomic map. In recent years, Marseille has become a hotbed for rising culinary stars, and the options are seemingly endless. Because of its proximity to the sea, Marseille remains a top destination spot for the summer. So if you're planning your trip during the summer, be sure to book your lodging well in advance. There are many options for your stay, from budget to ultra-luxury seaside hotels to short-term rentals like Airbnb. And, compared to Paris, for example, they are far less expensive. Where you stay will depend on your transportation plans, like do you want to rent a car? And also, how do you want to spend your downtime? For example, if you want some quiet evenings by the water, a little removed from the hustle and bustle of the city, you might consider looking for an Airbnb in Les Goudes. It's a short drive from the city center, but it's a small suburb of Marseille, and it's very quiet, and it offers many places right on the water. If you want to bring home a bit of Marseille, there are many options. Pick up some regional wine, or something from a local artist or artisan from one of the many boutiques and galleries in Le Panier district. Or you could opt for iconic soap from Marseille. This one seems a little obvious, but Marseille is famous for it worldwide. And at the very least, you could pick up a few small bottles of pastis. There are famous brands and many smaller artisan makers in the city. Stop by La Maison du Pastis in the Vieux-Port to see nearly 100 different varieties. So there you have it, adventurers. Marseille, with its rich history, diverse neighborhoods, international cuisine, it's a city that begs you to explore. From the lively Vieux-Port to the serene Calanque, this city offers a travel tapestry that you will not soon forget. In our rating system of 5 suitcases, Marseille receives a score of 3.4. There's so much more to say about Marseille and the surrounding area than I can include in this video. For even more information, be sure to check out the video we have for you at todaysnest.com. I'll leave the link in the description below. If you found this video useful or entertaining, or both, be sure to give us a gentle pouce en l'air and subscribe for more of our travel adventures. And don't forget to turn on those notifications so that you don't miss anything new. If you have any questions or comments or recommendations for future destinations, leave us a comment below. Until our next adventure, remember to stay curious, stay hungry, and always lick the bowl. Ciao for now.